main scenario quests. Now your main scenario quests can be found up, the ones you're doing next can be found up in this top left hand corner. The first one we're doing is close to home, and then we're going to go look for the Way of the Marauder. This is your class quest. Alright, I'm going to have a quick looky-see in my journal, which has absolutely no lev quests, no quests, no lev quests, and no allowances. We're good. Okay, any quest with a fire around it, like this one here, and a dark blue background, happens to be a main story quest, or a main scenario quest. Let's get started on the main scenario, which incidentally will also kick us off on the Marauders story quests. Close to home, Baderon, proprietor of the Drowning Wench, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Right then, let's start you off nice and easy with 3 tasks what will help you get used to life here in Limsa. Firstly, if you head down a floor, then point your nose to the west, you'll get an eyeful of the glowing crystal in the middle of the courtyard. That's an etherite, device what can move you from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way to travel, provided there's an etherite where you want to go, of course. Chat with the yellow jackets on guard down there and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings of the device. Before you do that though, remember to touch the thing. Strange as it sounds, it won't work till you have. Second on the list, the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armour and all your venturing bits and pieces for sale in the district what lies beyond the etherite. Don't go throwing your gill around just yet though, or you'll get fleeced quicker and you can say, why is me coin purse so light? Have a word with Swazblate instead. He's the head of the Merchants League, by the way. Give him this old octet and he'll treat you well. For the last of me helpful hints, I suggest you meet some fellow axe-wielders at the Marauders Guild. I guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for swinging that head splitter of yours, and you join the crew, if you join their crew. Blautota at the front desk is the one to get you started. Got all that, lass? See into them 3 tasks, so take you a little jaunt round the city, and help you look out everywhere where everything is. Now, I'd best be getting on. Run along, eh? Bugger it, there I go, send you off without telling you something crucial. That bloody Calamity's made a right mess of me memory, I swear. Well, that'll the ale. Any road, while you're out, if you happen to pass any poor sods what look like they might need your help, consider giving their tale a whirl a listen, eh? Sounds like a chore, I admit, but you never know what interesting opportunities could be lurking out there, just waiting for you to stumble on them. For example, Nina over there yonder's been casting glances at you since you waltzed in. Why not lend an ear to see what she has to say? Aye, you like to find yourself running odd errands in the beginning. Once you build a reputation as a woman folk can trust, the jobs will get harder and the rewards more generous. Oh, and if you have the time, I'd also seek the advice of the smith here in the Wench. Lads as bear that title have some fine advice for them what are just starting out in the profession. And that, my girl, is how you go about becoming a legend among venturers. To leave the Drowning Wench, you must accept the quest making a name by speaking with Nininya. Navigation just reminds you can press M for map, and I actually like my maps to be a bit bigger, so I'm going to just expand that out so I can see it and position it a little bit up here. There we go. Okay, this is part of your introduction to the game, so we are going to go through all of them. However, once we visit the Marauders Guild, that is where our story begins. Away we go. Although I cannot finish this quest without talking to Nininya, can I? Pretty sure that's what it said. Let's check it. So, read your instructions carefully, because things like this. Hold up there, lass, before you trot out the door and straight into some scrag's ambush. You might want to partake of the wench's wisdom, proprietor and patrons both. So we are going to, as part of our introduction to Lominsa, speak to Nininya. So we've talked to the patron, now we talk to Nininya. Making a name. Nininya, a veteran adventurer, has some information that might be of interest to you. Well, would you look at this, a shiny new adventurer. Listen close, lass. Some information that might just help put you on the map here in Limsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall below not long ago and saw a bunch of herbs just scattered about on the ground. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think they might have been the black market wares known as dream flowers. Limsa Lamens is a busy port, not all the merchants that blow in across the strait are above board, if you know what I mean. How'd the plants end up in the mizzen mast? Who knows? Might have been a deal gone bad. The important thing is you make a name for yourself by handing them in. Speak to Skein then she'll get you down to the first floor. Then all you have to do is pick up the herbs, take them to Old Skeef in the Octant. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about such shady goods. Alrighty, Skein Make your name. You'll see that quest is now up here. Skein the lift attendant. You wish to visit Bulwark Hall below? Crow's lift is ready when you are. Let's go. I know, the only way out of here. Alright, interacting. This tells you what to do. Gather the peculiar herbs. Anything shiny you can interact with. Let's just grab sanctuaries and get rid of it. Alright, peculiar herb 1. And peculiar herb 2. And peculiar herb 3. And peculiar herb 4. You'll see these little shields up here in your top right hand corner. That's showing you where to go for this particular thing. And we'll head on over to Skiff. Yes, I'm Old Skiff. You have some herbs you wish me to examine? I do. Right click, left click, hand over. Okay, rid of this. Yes, as you suspected, these are the highly illegal blooms known as dream flowers. They're the prime ingredient in the creation of somnus, a substance whose fragrance is said to lull the sniffer's mind into the sleep of death. Forgive me, I could not resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Alphic lavender, common enough export from Limsa Lominsa. In fact, these probably spilled from the crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone's been having a bit of fun with you, miss, but not to worry, you've learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met. And we complete that quest. Get rid of that. Alrighty. Now normally I would run around like a lunatic and pick up every single quest in sight, and in fact that is probably what you're meant to do. But we're following the main story quest close to home, and we are going to go and attune ourselves to the Aetheryte. Alright, and here we go. Ah, another novice adventurer. Aye, Baderon has sent more than a few of your kind this way of late. You know why she got kicked out of the forest? It's this big axe on the back. I'm Sundimar, one of the Yellow Jackets, tasked with keeping the peace in the city. It's also my charge to provide guidance in the use of this device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They're primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of the name will wish to seek out and attune herself to each one. Once you have expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you'll soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The Aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherites for transportation magic, I'll be here to answer your questions. Alright, so what we've done now is we've unlocked Return. You attune with the Aetherite, you're now able to use the Return spell. Just get rid of that. It's a free one, but it has a 15-minute cooldown. So this is my Return. Alright. Listen to Swazbait's explanation of the markets. And there's a little shield with a fire around it here, so let's head off toward that. Now the markets have a big green money bag right in front of them. Wow, it is so busy here right now. Swazbait, Fine evening to you, madam. Welcome to the most replete marketplace in the grand realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans under the weight of wonders born from all four corners of the world. Pray browse the stalls until your eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I'd love to elaborate upon the unrivaled quality of your merchandise, I must tend to some cargo but recently arrived at the docks. Huh? You bear a gift from Baderon? Whatever could it? Ah, my octant. By the navigator, I must have left it behind in the Wench, along with a week's pay and several bells' worth of intoxicated memories. All right. Right click, left click, hand it over. I am most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid, and what better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant? It is simple, and if it is simple and sturdy adventuring equipment you seek, you need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each gil you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within but a few steps are bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply all your potion and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a frankly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light or your time is short. Ah, but verbal instruction of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has ever been the surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the markets for yourself. Alright, now normally I'd pick up that quest as well, but not today. We're now going to go and visit the Marauders Guild, which is that way. Oh, I see, yeah. Ah, on the upper decks. I need... Yes, I do. That blue dotted line that you can see over here on the mini-map, right here, says to the upper level. So we're just going to go in this way. Hang a right and head up through the blue. Blue dots like that will take you between zones or regions in the game. It's so pretty here. So a lot of you won't be seeing this for, well, none of you will be seeing it for quite some time. But if you want a clue as to when I recorded it, it's you just look at the decorations around me. Oops. If you ever see an Ethernet shard, we now have access to the Ethernet. Quick travel through the city can be achieved by simply placing your hand upon Ethernet shards. Won't take you outside the city, will take you in. Alright, as our very last part of Close to Home, let's head over to Blathota. Ho there, adventurer! Curious about the Marauders Guild, are you? Now, if you started with a different class in Limsa, you'll probably be sent to a different guild. But this is the Marauders Guild first quest, hopefully. Any axe worth swinging needs two hands on the haft, and has a blade what can make short work of a galley's mast. That's the kind of weapon our members train to use with deceptive swiftness and all too predictable force. Are you interested in learning more, lass? Then why don't I give you a short version of the Guild's founding history and we can go from there. It all started with ships, you see. What have ships got to do with axes, you ask? Well, building them would be pretty bloody difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees for timber. And since the navigator herself only knows when a ship will run afoul of a storm or worse, it makes sense for the cruise carpenter to carry an axe on board. Aye, it all started with shipbuilding and ship repair. What, am I boring you? As I was saying, any tool on a ship can become a weapon, and the axe was perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in a whirl of steel and generally laying waste to all about you. As more seafarers took up the axe as their weapon of choice, so did the bloody art of the marauder begin to take shape, especially among pirates where strength and skill decide your place in the world. With an eye to assembling crews of battle-ready raiders, the pirates started teaching the proper way to wield a chopping blade to their new recruits, and that's how the Marauders Guild first came to be. But once the Galadian Accord was signed to unite the Maelstrom and the pirates against Limsa's enemies, the whole game changed. The Accord itself was a dismal failure, of course, but the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, restructured, and purged of its pirate elements. It had been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of this new Marauders Guild weren't no greed-driven cutthroats, neither. They were warriors what sought to use their martial prowess for the good of society. If mastering the axe is your heart's desire, then you'll find no better arena in which to practice your swings. Think it over and let me know if you fancy joining our ranks. I have a feeling I'll be seeing more of you soon, lass. Alrighty. To end this quest, we need to go back to Baderon and report to him. Let's go do that. Like I said, normally I would pick up every quest I could in the area and run them all parallel to each other and learn my way around. But this particular series, or a series of series, is I want to focus on each story for each job quest and do a bunch of little side quest bits as well. So, away we go. Let's go report to Baderon. Hit the 9 for sprint. You'll notice up here I now have sprint. Up in the left where my little mouse is waving. We also have the road to 80, which means that because we're in this area, we have experience and expanded experience. Where's Baderon? Here he is. Let's complete this quest. Ah, there you are, Miriam. Enjoying your jaunt round city, did you? If you mean to base yourself in Limsa Lominsa, that won't be the last time you'll visit them 3 places. And now you've got some idea of what's where, you can start exploring the rest of the town. You've shown a good ear for listening, lass. Stick with old Baderon and you'll go far. Done. Alright. Next episode, we'll take on the next main scenario quest. If you've enjoyed this one, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe. And I'll check you later. Take care out there.